Welcome back to Grump's Barn, where today we're actually going to be doing something for a change, because I haven't done bugger all for months. Never mind. Yeah, I seem to have had a year last year where I haven't done a hell of a lot really. Oh, and as you can see, we're not in the barn today. Grump's garage today. I am getting on with a few bits and bobs, but there's been nothing really that had needed doing that was worth filming, to be honest. I've done bugger all on the trike, but on a positive note there, I have worked out exactly how I'm going to build that front end now, and that's taken months and months of buggering about trying to work out exactly what to do, but I know what I'm doing now, and that will all be coming very soon. If ever you get their bloody finger out and get some metal to me that I ordered. But they're such shit fucking carriers that it could be months. Anywho, back to the thing at hand. This, as you may or may not know, is a seat base from a Defender, currently sitting upside down. Because the frame inside it is completely bollocks. Absolutely. There is no support in this back bit at all, and when you sit on it, it's like sitting on the metal. Bloody uncomfortable. So it needs replacing. I have the new foam. Hopefully I have enough tools here to do everything I need to do. We shall see. Well, let's get on. Alright, first job we need to do is, this is the back of the seat base, and if you look here, you'll see there are a couple of little tangs on each side, holding in a metal bar that goes all the way across the back of this seat cover. So these need to be prized out. Oops. It would help if I watched where the camera was. Hang on. Right, that's those two pried up. Now I should be able to just lift this off. There we go. Lift it out and off of these tangs. Do these tangs here. And then we pull the cover back off. Oh no, hang on, this one's got the back. Ah! Now these aren't normally fitted. Normally you only have two, one here and one here. These little pins, these are going to have to be removed as well, along with the dog hairs. But these aren't normally fitted. On this one they are, in fact, they're holding the rope that goes through the middle. Right, I need to get these out. I'm going to have to get something behind there, probably my little pry bar again, and just gently pry them out. Alright, to get these little pins out, it's there. I'm going to put a pair of scissors in behind it, get the legs either side of it, grip it up and just lever it out. If I can get them in there. Get it the other side, no problem. Yeah, it's coming. Hang on, I need both hands for this. Well, that pin came out in two parts. Snapped in half. Clever. But this pin, absolutely fine. Never mind. Right. Now on to the next bit. Need to get the other pins out of the side of here. Again, I use these scissors and see if that works. Yeah, there you go. They've come out quite easily with the scissors, these ones. As you can see, they expand out slightly. So when you push them in, they just clip in nicely. A bit like the trim clips you get on upholstery. On door cards and the like. Yeah, this is upholstery. Fucking idiot. Right, let's get the clips out the other side, and then we can go about taking this big rubber retainer off. Yeah, see what I'm doing here to get these clips out is get the scissors in there, put them together so they're behind the head of it, and then just pull it away so it pulls it out of the side of the seat. There we go, they're all out, all four of them. I think I'll remove them, put them somewhere safe so I don't lose the damn things. They could easily fall out of the side of the cover if I don't. This making for interesting filming, isn't it? Filming the wrong bloody bits. Nothing unusual there. Right, next job is to get this out. Should better start it off with a little pry bar to pull it out, and then rip it out of its hole, well, gently. There we go, with a little bit of prying, I've managed to get this rubber moving. I'll try and get my fingers on there and get it moving. God, that's stiff when it's very cold. Now all I've got to do is pull this up, and as you can see it's starting to pull out. I'm going to need both hands to get this out, and then you just pull it out all the way around the seat, one side to the other. There we go, now out, and that can be reused. Might have to warm that a little bit before I reuse it. Now all I've got to do, as you can see, one filthy, grotty, 30-year-old seat base. I've now got to pull out this all the way around. You can't even see my finger because I'm not filming it properly. Fucking idiot. Right. Now. Excuse the camera a second. Right. So I've got to undo this. And I've got to slowly peel this back and out of here, because this piping around the edge is in the channel here that it was actually held into by the rubber. So I've just got to pull it out of there. There we go, that's the piping all the way out. It was a bit of a bugger in places. As I'm pulling it out, there are bits of all this foam that are just crumbling and need to be pulled out. Now what I do is separate the foam from the base. It's just a case of ripping it off. There we go. I'm peeling the cover off first. It's very hard to do one-handed, oddly. Oh wow. The glue on this middle panel is still stuck. I believe that. You obviously used some pretty good glue all those years ago. If you just peel it round. And as you can see, that is stuck fast. They're all very much glued together. I shall have to get both hands on this and free this up. There's an important thing to note here, that these edges here, where the bits of material are all sent together, these sit down in these channels, and if you can see, this one here has to sit down in this channel here as well. So that's very important when you go to putting it back together again, that you remember to do that. You need to glue them into those channels. Anyway, first things first, let's get this thing off, and I need both. And here I'll show you why I'm replacing this. Look, there's nothing there at all. There's no resistance at all to anything. So as soon as you sit on that, you're just sitting straight on the metal below it. Not good. The front bit, because it hasn't had so much weight on it, it's still got some springiness. The side bits are pretty knackered, but this back is the worst. Terrible. Right, let's get this off the base. Well, that was a fight and a half. Some very conscientious employee glued this fucker on. I've still got to clear all this glue off it. Actually, the seat base is actually in pretty good nick, considering. I'm surprised. In fact, I'm amazed. And these are the ends of the cord that's supposed to tension up the piping. So really, you normally have a long cord that you tie off at the back, but these ones have been pulled through those holes and then pinned in at the back, which is not what most of them have. There you go. So I've now got to clean this off as carefully as possible so I don't end up having to repaint it, although I might have to anyway. I've got a bit of rust in here, needs sorting out, only minor. We shall see. Let's get this cleaned up. There we go, all cleaned up. Well, as much as I'm going to clean it up, nothing else can really come off here easily. Scraped all that foam off with the edge of a kitchen knife that I happen to have out here for cutting just a nylon rope and this stuff, because I can't be asked to get a decent cutter down here, because I use everything at the barn normally, not here. And I've also sprayed a little bit of cold galv over there was a teeny bit of rust there, cleaned it off, sprayed a bit of cold galv. It doesn't really matter what the inside of this looks like, no one looks at it. In fact, I couldn't really give a shit what the outside looks like either, because as you know, I'm a grumpy old twat, so yep, that'll do for now. I've got to leave that a little bit for that to dry off, and then I can get to sticking the new foam on. Right, now here comes the fun bit. Now the paint's all dried, I've got to get some glue on here. In fact, according to Exmoor's Trim, whose guide I've been following, and it's much better than this is ever going to be, you do a big cross of glue across the seat pan, go right round the back of here with the glue to there, bit on top of here on this channel, obviously glue on here where you can see it's been before, and again round here, and obviously then corresponding glue on the underside of the new foam. Now I'm going to be doing something that most people won't do, because this hasn't come with, there's some black bits under here on both sides. Now all they do is they correspond to the holes in here. You got gaping holes at the sides, and it gives the impression that it's all black under there. Now I can't be asked to go trying to peel these off of here and try and stick them on here, because this doesn't come with them, and I don't really care what it looks like, to be honest. I'm too old and miserable for that, I don't care. So I'm going to be putting this on without the black bits. But you could even, if you really wanted to, if you haven't got any black bits like these, if these are knackered, you could even put bloody gaffer tape or something on there. Just anything to make it appear dark, or you could even do that after the fact if you wanted to, I suppose. But as I say, I'm not bothered with that. So I'm now going to put all the glue on. Now I'm going to have to obviously leave it a couple of minutes because it's contact adhesive before I then put it together. Right, now what I'm going to do, nearly ready for the foam to go on. I'll be putting the foam in the back corner first, and then getting the other back corner in, and then I'll turn it round, go to the front and push the foam back very slightly so it sits just overhanging the front of the seat. And then I'll go around to the sides and push in the sides around here to make sure it's all sitting properly before then pressing it all down firmly. That is how I'm supposed to be doing it. How it's going to turn out, well, who the fuck knows. Now that is all glued on. As I say, if you really want to know how to do this properly, have a look at Exmoor Trim. They've got a couple of videos on YouTube where they actually show you how to professionally do it. Not how to do it by arsing about in your garage. Right, now I've got to leave this for 10 minutes for it to go up firmly, and now I can start putting the cover on. Now I'm hoping that doing it their way will work without too much hassle, because Uncle Mike, whose video I watched on doing this recently as well, said don't stick it on first, stick the cover on first. But I thought, well, Exmoor Trim have done hundreds of these. They should know what they're doing. We shall see whether I've been completely stupid by not following up Mike's advice. But there you go. We shall see. Now, I'm going to give this 10 minutes. Then come back to find it all falls off again, probably. No, my luck. Now, I've just found something out that they don't tell you about. This thing, for some weird reason, was not sitting right down to the bottom under here. You can see it's still lifted up very slightly there, right at the very back. But there was a good half-inch gap there. Even after 5 minutes, I sat on it. This now has 17 stone of weight sitting on it for a few minutes, and that's pushed it right down and glued it. Don't know what that says. Being a heavy fucker can come in handy, I suppose. Perhaps that's what it's saying. Right, now to get this cover sorted. Now apparently the best way to do this is to turn your seat cover inside out like this. You can see the bits that fold over are turned in, and the back flap is turned in, and you line up the seam edge here with the very back of your seat. You then pull in both the sides out the way and flap this whole lot back halfway, so it uncovers this first back bit. Then you spread the glue on this back bit and on the underside of your seat cover, just in this middle panel here, the bit that was glued previously. Then when the glue's gone off, you then put it back down again to exactly the same position and smooth it out from the inside to the outside apparently. We shall see how that goes. That's the first step. Also make sure that it's nice and central as well, so that these seams that are going to be sitting in these grooves actually do line up with them. I've done that. It's now sitting there, all glued, ready. I've got to wait a couple of minutes just for the glue to go off before I stick it together. Just don't forget to make sure once you push down this bit and smoothed it out, you've got to get those seams down into that slot. Down in there. Push them right in so they will sit nicely. And then you fold back this front bit. Apparently this only needs to be glued just a teeny bit on this front half, back half of it rather, not the front here, just at the back there and just there before you pull it down. And then make sure these seams again go into these channels that are made for them. I've also already pushed most of this middle one into its hole and sealed it up. Under there. See, that one is all the way in. I've sealed up, glued. Now let's just glue this front bit. That's it, we're glued down. And I've got the seams further back there into their respective channels. Now apparently the way that you save all the hassle, well some of the hassle anyway, is to use a lubricant spray. So I'm going to spray the foam with some lubricant spray. They recommend on the oh fuck, I can't remember the name of it now. On the channel I was watching anyway, they recommend using silicone spray, but I don't have any. Not to hand. I've got some somewhere, but I can't bloody find it, as ever. So I'm going to use a bit of PTFE spray. That should be safe for this. Spray a bit of that on there so I can then pull these covers down over the edges. See how it goes. Well, there we go. That's the cover on. With that silicone spray, fuck, that made it a lot easier. Well, PTFE spray that I used. It wasn't too bad at all. Just pulling it down around the edges and flipping it on at the back. It was a little bit of a struggle, but not bad at all. Now what I've got to do is, starting at one side, actually I think I might start at this side here. I've got to push this into the channel. I can't do this and show you at the same time because I need both hands. I've got to push that cord there into this channel, which means squeezing the foam to do it, and then I've got to put this plastic bit into the channel on top of it, and using a rubber mallet knock it in and work it slowly all the way around from one side to the other. There you can see I've pushed this down into there. I had to use a slight bit of help from a pry bar to push the first little bit in. It was a bit stiff. The rest of it just fell in happily. Then you put the rubber channel back on. Now this rubber channel, if you notice, it's got a smaller bit that goes towards the top of the seat and a longer bit that goes underneath. Make sure you get it the right way on, or you can have all sorts of fun. Thankfully I didn't make that mistake, because I noticed that when I took it off. Unusual for me, I know. Right, I'm going to carry on going all the way around with this. Slowly knocking it in with the rubber mallet. There we go, that is all the way in. That didn't take very long at all, really. Just a case of squeezing it round so that you make sure that the cord part at the bottom stays within the channel and knock this over the top of it. In fact, quite a lot of it I managed to push in with my thumb rather than a rubber mallet. There again, I do have rather large thumbs. So that is done. I've got a slight overlap here, but that doesn't matter because that's how it was before I took it off. Now what I've got to do is pull this back down. So there's two holes here and here, and there's corresponding holes in the metal where those pins have got to go in. And those pins just need knocking in with a small hammer or similar. Two of those each side. I don't think I'll bother with those back ones. The cord in this is so stuck in its ways after 30 years, it didn't even loosen up, which is good. But normally you'd have like a tape through it, you'd have to tie off at the back. But with this one, they tied it off with the extra pins, which I shall not be reusing. Not much point. It's held in so firmly it's not going anywhere. Right, let's get these little pins in. There we go, 2 pins in. I've got to do the other side now. I found it easier to do this back one first. It then lined up the front one a lot better. Your mileage may vary. And I didn't use a hammer to push these in, I just pushed them in with my thumb. But as I say, I do have very big thumbs. Well, those were a twat to line up, but I got them in the end. And again, just using my thumb. Now all I've got to do is find the metal tangs that are under here and bend them back round to hold this back end in place. Can't remember where they are now. Oh yeah, there they are. Right, they're up here. So I've got to hook this over them and bend them back down. I should do that now. There we are, all done. Nicely back on there. Again, I just bent them with my thumb, but you might need a hammer. So there we are. All done, and it only took about an hour, if that. And most of that was just cleaning up the old base and spraying it and then having to wait for it to dry. Alright, well I hope that's been helpful. Hopefully there'll be a lot more videos coming up this year. I've got quite a few bits to do, so including another one of these seats, but I won't bother filming that because it's only going to be exactly the same all over again. Right, well thank you for watching, all three of you. And yeah, especially you, yep, you know who you are down in Australia. The only person that ever watches the end of these videos. Take care people, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.